Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my vlog of the Time Agent episode, Crescent Street, the second episode of Series 2. And this time, it is featuring Agent Liam attempting to go into the street known as the Crescent, although for some reason they call it Crescent Street in this. But he can't go in because, as it later discovered, it's effective to people who have been exposed to a rift in time, being exposed to someone who's travelled in time, or travelling in time themselves. In which case Liam has done. In probably the second and third one. I don't know about the first one. He might have. We're not sure. We haven't seen his adventures with the Doctor. There's something for a spin-off. Liam's adventures with a fan film Doctor, as well as whatever happened at the Time Agency, aside from what we saw in Sins of the Past. So Dan has to go in and investigate. Meanwhile, Liam is held captive for ransom by Hannah, who demands that Dan comes to her, and if he doesn't, then she will kill Liam. And so Robin has to go and get Dan when he comes back and finds out Liam's been taken hostage. At this point, Dan has discovered it's a spider causing all of it, or as Liam says, it's a time spider. So they all have to try to stop it. And eventually, Liam sacrifices himself. Well, I say sacrifices himself. He doesn't die, but he stops the spider on by himself, and eventually defeats it, and then goes into a coma for a few days, whilst Robin and Dan are working. But then he comes back. He has a bit of a walk, answers a few questions. See the TARDIS for the penultimate time, because we'll see it for the last time in Redemption of Mortis. I think Liam mentions the Doctor in this episode. No, Dan mentions that Liam used to travel with someone known as the Doctor. And by this point, I think we're getting further and further away from the Series 1 style of Series 1. There's no sonic screwdriver, there's no fob watch, and the TARDIS is going after the next episode. In fact, at a present day standard, this is the last time we will see it, because Redemption of Mortis will be having it set as the scene with the TARDIS in would be set during the time of the Great Battle in Series 1, and in Sins of the Past it's being set in Liam and Mortis' past, and we don't even see it there, we just hear it. So, yeah. I'm still not that big a fan of Hannah, but I don't think her character's actually developing, to be honest. She's just wanting Dan back. What's she going to tell him? Is he going to believe her? If she did tell him that she was his sister, would he believe her? Would he remember? Would he go with her? And what would their parents say if she did bring him back, if they think he died in a car crash? She doesn't also seem to understand that Liam saved him, so she probably would have preferred him if he died in peace. I'm confused. I mean, I can see some parts, but it's still confusing. What I think would have been better is if she had become part of the team, if she'd become a member in the last episode along with Robin, then maybe there could have been a bit more characterization and maybe a little bit more conflict. Liam might start regretting around this time that he let her join, because she just keeps on nagging him about Dan, but she's on the team on the condition that she doesn't tell Dan about themselves, even if she can work with him, but not tell him the truth. I think that would have been a good story arc to go down until the last episode, where she does tell him before he gets killed off. Whoops. And then she just leaves because she's had enough. But her appearances are alright. I don't consider them bad. They're just okay. I think Hannah's okay, but oh well. It's not really much. The Time Spider is a pretty... I don't think he's a great villain, but he's a quite powerful one. I think with a bit more about it, it could be a bit more threatening. They know that their enemy is the Lord of Time, and they cause antimatter, or anti-time. But aside from that, we don't know what its we don't know why it's doing it. Is it just doing it because that's what it does? Like the Daleks. Its motive is just it does it because it has to or can do. Although the Daleks come up with plots. So, yeah, this is alright. I don't think it's brilliant, but it's pretty good. It's got quite a bit of, well, not quite a bit, it's got a bit of tension in it. And yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a good episode. Not brilliant, but I think it's really good. So that was Crescent Street. Next time, a certain Agent Mortis comes back. Next episode, Redemption of Mortis. Oh, and another thing, this episodes 3, 4 and 5, no not 5, 3 and 4 will not have next time trailers. One has a coming soon trailer for episodes 2, 3 and 6. Because 6 was finished before 4 and 5 by the looks of it, similar to Doctor Who Series 4 Episode 7 being finished before Episode 6, and Series 6 Episode 9, well, originally it was Episode 9 was Episode 4 and Episode 4 was Episode 3, but then they changed it, so Doctor's Wife originally being 3 was now 4, and Night Terrors being 4 was now 9, so they had 1, 2, 4, 3 and 4, but now it's 1, 2, 4 and 9 in the coming up trailer. Not sure why didn't they include 5 and 6, but I'm not sure. So yeah, episode 1 of this series of Time Agent has a next time trailer for 2, 3 and 6, and of course there's a trailer at the end of episode 5 going into episode 6, kind of coming up. Yeah, so that's just something to point out. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.